guys, and welcome back to this place. If you're new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and apparently my voice is just leaving me. But today we are watching season 2, episode 7, I believe, of Battlestar Galactica. It is part 2 of the episode we watched last week called Home, and we are on the hunt for the tomb of Athena, and we are on the surface of Kobol and sacrificing people. Well, we're not like doing human sacrifice, but I don't know why I keep saying we. Rosalind kind of was of the mindset of, I don't care what the cost is, we're going to go forward with this plan. And it's a bit reckless. And I understand why she has that mindset, but I don't necessarily agree with it. Now she's lost her high priestess. Again, still not really sure if that's the correct term for that lady. So if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments below. But that's where we are. We've lost her. Sharon has proven herself somewhat to Apollo. I don't know how much of an olive branch, or that's not a good way of saying it. I don't know how much she's going to have to do to earn his forgiveness and possible, like, begrudging respect, right? Because the crime that she, again, not really her, but in Apollo's mind, they're kind of interchangeable. The crime that she committed was very bad for him. And so, yeah, I'm curious to see where that's going to go. Sorry, I'm trying to go fast so I don't ramble too much at the beginning of the episode. Where else? What else? Speaking of Apollo, his dad, Adama, really was really struggling on the Galactica, making some bad decisions that were very concerning due to, you know, his sadness and his feelings of betrayal from Apollo and those close to him, Sharon, Boomer. And so, yeah, he was headed down a very dark road, I feel. And luckily, Dee, being the incredible character that she is, I really hope this means we get to see more of her, because we've been seeing more of her this season, I feel, and I really love her. But she talked him down from the ledge and kind of gave him the wake-up call that he needed. And now he is seeking to reunite the fleet and keep his promise. Yeah, so that's where we are. I'm sorry it took so long for me to say that, but if you've been watching these videos for any length of time, you know I ramble. That's what I do. Anyway, I'm gonna stop it for now. Let's get right into this episode. Don't be opening that in the rain. Dang, you know how slippery that would be? Oh, they're trying to figure it out from the ship, and they're trying to figure it out on the ground.
Anytime.
You wouldn't grab his hand if it was Apollo, would you?
I don't know how the hell that woman thinks she's gonna find this tomb.
She has Sharon.
Maybe she's seen it in a vision. I'm serious.
Oh, I thought he was joking too.
With due respect, that terrain is so rugged, I can't imagine navigating it without a map or a guide.
They have Sharon. Look at her, she's like, these fucking humans are so slow.
We should take shelter until the storm passes.
After that?
Then we start the tough part.
Where is shelter? Just, you know, pray tell. She must know. I would follow her, TBH.
But we'll set the jump arrival coordinates to the upper atmosphere, just in case.
Sir, that's risky, and it's certainly not possible with a ship of this size.
I'll be going down on a Raptor.
He's going?
Send a search party for frack's sake.
And Zeus warned the leaders of the 12 tribes that any return to Kobol would exact the price in blood.
He wants to protect people.
I'm only going to take people who are absolutely necessary. Don't try to argue with me, Saul.
Aww. But shouldn't you
Truth is,
not go?
I'm the only one that can reach out to Rosalind.
That is true, I think.
It's always been between us anyway. We may have gone down separately, but we're gonna come back together. Hopefully on our feet.
I love this.
Not even in body bags, we're gonna be coming back together.
Okay, let's not.
You're not in charge here, Tom. All comm traffic goes through me. Try to remember that.
Ooh, yeah.
How much longer do you want to wait, Tom? Just keep your eyes on him.
I mean, I think it would be very obvious if you just randomly killed him with no enemies around. Also, as always, I'm just loving Adama. Like, I do think that he is the right choice to try to reach out to Rosalind to... I think I said it in the last episode, right? Like, they both need to, like, admit their part in it and then try to, like, come together for the sake of the fleet. So I'm excited about that. Also, love that he's going himself and he's not trying to risk anybody else. Although, also, the thing is, he's central to the fleet, so it's also very dangerous for him to go himself. You know? Like, we really can't afford for anything to happen to Adama. But I love a leader who is willing to put himself in the line of fire, so...
That's the spot where your god supposedly stood and watched Athena throw herself down onto the rocks below, out of despair over the exodus of the 13 tribes.
Supposedly. I thought the Cylons believed in the god.
They believe in God, not the gods.
One true god.
Mm-hmm.
Athena's tomb, whatever she really was, is probably up.
Whatever.
A child will be born here, in this room.
In that particular room?
You're not listening.
Oh, had you noticed? No, I've had enough. Prattle on about this mythical baby of ours.
Mythical.
I'm the father of a baby who'll be born to me from my fantasy woman, who I see solely in my head. My fantasy woman, by the way, who stopped being my fantasy.
I never said I would bear the child.
All right, then, who's it going to be? It's not Starbuck, is it?
Careful, guys. You're in dangerous territory now.
That was a stupid thing to say.
I'm really scared.
I would be scared of her. She has literally manifested.
You're right. Game's over. You win.
What did I win?
You don't get it?
No, I don't get it either.
Wake up and smell the psychosis already.
Oh, she's trying to make him think that she's just in his head, like an actual hallucination.
I'm not real. You're not really getting secret messages from the Cylons. You're just crazy.
I mean, she literally manifested herself. Other people saw. You know that's not true. Gaius, come on. She was on the ship.
You don't believe me, do you?
No, I don't. Good, I've had enough of this, all right? So can we just stop playing this stupid game?
Oh, I'm sorry. But it's the truth. There is no chip.
It's not the truth. Come on, Gaius. You know that.
You helped the Cylons commit genocide against your own people, and your fragile little mind couldn't handle it, so poof! I appear and start telling you how special you are, how God has chosen you. Yeah.
I mean, this would make sense if we didn't... I mean, I considered this as well, but we actually literally saw her manifest herself. Like, everyone saw, like, Adama... I wish that he would remember that, but I can also understand why he would be freaking out and thinking that he might be creating her in his head, you know?
Gives me the creeps. Seeing him acting like that with her.
He loves her. And yeah, he knows she's a machine. He doesn't care, he loves her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
How come one of us get that roped in by one of them? You know, we should keep an eye on him too.
Healer's a friend of mine, right?
Yeah,
He's one of the good guys.
he is.
Sharon was a friend of yours too.
All right. And she was a good person. She just got brainwashed, okay?
You know, just being with you and Kara feels like I've come home. It's like I'm back in the fleet.
But you were never in the fleet. That was the other show.
I know that. But I remember all of it.
They share memories.
You know, the memory of being in a uniform is so strong, it's so potent. It's like, I'm Sharon Valeri, and this is my family. It's pretty weird, huh?
I mean, who are we if not our memories? That's what shapes us and makes us who we are. So it makes total sense to me.
And let the Cylon do it. What if the Cylon were to get a weapon and shoot him herself? There'd be a lot of confusion, stress, panic. Then the Cylon could find herself getting shot real easy.
Now they're gonna try to kill both of them?
How would you propose such a thing might happen?
This has to happen, Tom.
Why does it have to happen? He doesn't have to be in charge. Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna kill the Cylon, then how are you gonna figure out how to get to the tomb? I think Zarek might actually be having a crisis of conscience, in which case I might start to like him. Sorry, I don't know why it took me so long to say that.
Baby can have your brains as long as he gets my looks.
Yeah? That'd be a real blessing for her.
Her? You know it's a girl?
Does she?
Yeah.
How does she know? Are all the babies girls?
Comfy.
Can't talk, can't move.
Then you certainly wouldn't want me to do this.
I told you not to move.
It won't happen again.
Now he's gonna have to start over.
I have to reset.
Mm-hmm.
Start from the beginning. Why are you doing this to me?
Come on, guys. Even back when you weren't nuts, there was always that little voice in your head. That little voice helping you through the rough times, remember?
I mean, everyone has a little voice in their head, but most people don't have a physical manifestation of that.
And there is a god, and he talks to Gaius Baltar. Okay.
Oh, shut up, will you? Will you stop going crazy in there?
I'm not crazy.
Okay, but you're not really helping yourself.
The other Sharon shot the old man. I heard it about 1,000 times.
Well, what do you think happened to her?
I don't know.
She was murdered, and everyone aboard Galactica just let it happen. You think they're gonna let you raise a potential enemy right in their midst? You want to get off this planet alive, you better start looking out for yourself.
Okay, but if I was her, with all my brains and my Cylon smarts, I would ask, why is he telling me this? Like, he doesn't know me. What's his motivation, you know?
Hello.
Is it gonna be Adama in them? Oh, I thought I saw somebody. Like, where Lee was pointing the gun. I did, okay. He was just behind the trees first. Are they gonna hug?
Put down your weapon, Captain.
Hug, 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 hug. Hug, 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 hug. Hug, for God's sakes, that's your son. That's your dad. Come on, do it. That's what I wanted.
It's good to see you.
Madam President?
Aww.
Billy, you have no idea what it means to me to have you here.
It's good to see you too.
Aww. All these hugs and bonding. Well, Starbuck and Adama now, right? He forgives you. Hug. Your family too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Commander.
Commander! She's with us, Commander.
I don't know what he's gonna do. He was crying over her. You said that y'all would see her again. I mean, yeah, okay, that would die.
I want you to die.
I was hoping that he would have a better reaction than that to be honest.
Commander, please don't. I need her.
Commander? Commander, you gotta let her go.
Die.
Sir!
Dad.
He's so weak.
And you ask why.
So she does remember. She even remembers that?
You interfered with a military mission and you broke your word to me.
It's the second part that really bothers you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe the old man reacted like that.
You know they killed the other Sharon in cold blood, not even a trial.
Well, to be fair, Callie just got really upset and then killed her. They didn't just, like, military style kill her. Also, yep.
Sharon.
Does she remember loving him before she loved Hilo? Just curious.
Hello, Chief.
You know who I am.
Yes.
Hilo's a little jealous, it looks like. Oh, he's a lot jealous. Makes sense, to be fair.
It's good to see you.
This is feeling very triangular, you know what I'm saying?
It's over. Let it go. For now.
Okay, so I feel like Zarek was kind of looking for an excuse not to go through with this. This guy is still gonna try to go through with it. He's probably gonna die.
Maybe your impulse the day the Cylons attacked was right. Maybe we should have stayed and fought for our homes.
I didn't come here to navel gaze or to catalog our mistakes. We made a decision to leave the colonies after the attack. It was the right one then, it's the right one now.
Like, you can't look back. You already did it. It's too late.
So every moment of every day since then is a gift.
From the gods.
No.
From y'all. Yeah. Y'all created it.
Convincing me I should go.
Y'all created this future.
I would be dead. My son would be dead. Whatever else the cost, I won't second guess that outcome.
So he feels like he owes her because of that choice that she made that saved him and Lee's life.
It's time to go find this
Tomb
of yours.
I'm so glad Adama's okay, you guys. Like, and that he's like being himself again.
30 days for murder.
They don't see it as murder, Hilo. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what you're not hearing. I'm not a person to them. I'm a thing.
I mean, to be fair, until you fell in love, you thought the same thing. You know, do you ever consider that maybe they just need to, like, see her and other Cylons in a different way? Maybe there just needs to be Cylons that aren't actively trying to murder them. Because, like, to be fair,
If we're gonna have any future together,
there's fault on both sides.
I'm gonna have to take matters into my own hands.
Okay, but do you see how you're perpetuating their distrust of you? Just saying.
Do you love me?
Yes.
Do you trust me?
I don't know.
And don't ask me what I have to do.
Sharon, what the fuck you do?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you what the fuck you have to do. So she's, my guess, not gonna lead them to the tomb of Athena.
Chance to think about our conversation.
I haven't thought about anything else.
Or does
When we
she?
get to the entrance, they'll be distracted. I'll take the father, you take the son.
You should see this!
Maybe she's gonna double cross that guy. Because I just don't think that she would, like she said this is her family, right? I really like Sharon / Boomer, so I hope that she doesn't do anything that makes me not like her anymore.
I hope you have that arrow handy.
Girl. Okay, yes. This is what I thought she was gonna do. She knew.
I need you to know something. I'm Sharon, but I'm a different Sharon. I know who I am. I don't have hidden protocols or programs lying in wait to be activated. I make my own choices, I make my own decisions, and I need you to know this is my choice.
That's what I thought. Okay. Thank God. That's what I thought. Thank God. Okay. You made that real scary, girl. That guy was gonna double cross y'all. He was gonna kill your son. So, you know.
It's one of the old stallions. It's a military issue. Where the hell did you get this?
It's his.
He gave it to her. Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to see you get your due. You never did listen to me.
He really didn't. Like, you, that's the kind of friend you don't need. I'm sorry. But you're trying to kill innocent people just so your friend can get his due. Like.
On three. 1, 2, 3.
We're just gonna push real hard at this front. Oh. I was genuinely not expecting for that to work at all.
After you.
Ladies first. Although if it's a trap, it's a really bad idea. I'm just saying.
Hilo, you stay out.
Yes, sir.
Chief,
Sir.
guard everybody.
Sir.
Everybody, including
If the arrow didn't actually open the tomb, how do we know this is the right place?
Maybe there's a tomb inside the tomb.
Sagittara,
Sagittarian.
the archer.
The arrow. Put the arrow in the arch. The bow. Sorry. The arch. Put the arrow in the bow. It's gonna point to something, right? Or unlock something. The music is amping up. Oh my god. I'm sorry, what the hell just happened? Where are they? They were in the tomb.
Where the hell are we?
That is my question.
Tomb of Athena, I think.
I thought we were already in the tomb.
No, I don't think so.
I think that was the lobby.
Yeah.
These patterns were on the original flags of the 12 colonies.
Constellations.
The jewels match the constellation.
Mm-hmm.
This is the map. This is the map to Earth.
Yeah.
So is Earth in one of these constellations.
We're standing on it. We're standing on Earth.
Are they?
The scriptures say that when the 13th tribe landed on Earth, they looked up into the heavens and they saw their 12 brothers.
Oh. Of course. Those constellations are visible to us.
There in Scorpio. Seen that before. It's the Lagoon Nebula.
Astro Body M8. It's a long way from here.
But at least now we have a map and a direction.
Some place to go. If they can make it. Okay, but how are they gonna get out of the tomb? Because, like, we don't even really know how we got.
We have struggled.
Oh, okay. Apparently we're already out. I don't know how.
Our strength and our only hope as a people is to remain undivided.
Mm-hmm.
Many people believe that the scriptures will lead us to salvation. Maybe they will. But the gods shall lift those who lift each other.
You have to do it yourself.
And so, to lift all of us, let me present once again
President Roslin.
the President of the Colonies, Laura Roslin.
Oh, we're out of military martial law. I don't know, we have to clap in the slow clap pattern. I feel like we're dancing. He was like not happy with their initial clap. He's like, put some pep in your step, clappers.
I don't want a baby born in this cell.
Wait a second.
That child.
Told you a child would arrive. Told you it would be born right here in this room. How could you ever doubt me?
But to be fair, you said it was your child.
Boomer is going to bear our child.
An honor for which she is hardly deserving, but one doesn't question God's will.
How his genetic makeup get in there?
Well, you're not a chip.
Nope. But she's not a hallucination either. She's actually there.
Sharon being pregnant does suggest that you are rather more than a simple manifestation of my subconscious.
Mm-hmm. She literally manifested herself. Are we forgetting that, guys?
I'm an angel of God sent here to protect you. Guide you to love you.
Not really.
To what end?
To the end of the human race.
Okay, but if your child is half human, half Cylon, that's not the end of the human race. Because they're still half human, right? I mean, it's the end of, like, I guess, pure humans, but it's still not the end of humans in general. You know? I don't know. It's kind of a weird statement. Like, I wish that, like, they had a moment where they acknowledged the fact that she literally was on the Galactica for a hot minute. You know what I mean? Like, to teach him that lesson. And other people besides him saw her. Like, sure, she was pretending to be someone else and all that, but it was her. I feel like that enough would be proof that she's not in your head. Or not soul, like, you're not, like, hallucinating her. This is an actual thing that is actually happening, right? To jump off what I was literally just saying, I understand why Gaius would have these questions and think, like, am I going crazy? Like, is this just in my head? And, like, is this a hallucination? Like, what's going on? And, like, try to, you know, especially because he is so smart, and it's very, I imagine it would be very scary to feel like you're not in control of your own mind. I feel like he's sort of had these questions before, and this episode was sort of just reiterating those questions. However, I still have a problem with him just not acknowledging the episode, the scene, the occurrence of her actually being on the Galactica. Like, whether it was literally her, it was a copy of her, she poofed out of his head and then was on the Galactica for like a whole episode. Like, other people saw her. Like, I am remembering that correctly, right? Is that, like, my memory failing, or that happened? So I feel like at that point when that occurred, then if I'm Gaius, I'm like, okay, definitive proof that this is not just in my head, that this is actually happening for real. Because I think for me personally, that was the turning point where I was like, okay, she's definitely actually genuinely there. Because like Gaius, I was like, is she actually there? Like, is she in his head? Is that really her, or is it his guilt, his subconscious, whatever, manifesting? So, like, I had those questions that he had in this episode last season, and I was waiting for a moment of definitive proof. And I feel like I remember that for me, that moment was like, okay, yeah, she's fully there. Like, you know? So, I don't know. It's kind of strange to me that they brought that question back in this episode without acknowledging that moment, which I feel for maybe a lot of people when watching the show was like the definitive proof moment, right? Because, like, we were pretty sure that she was, like, a part of her was actually there communicating with him. And then that moment was, like, for sure, right? So, I don't know. I wish that they had acknowledged that, I guess. While we're on the subject of Gaius and Six, I'm confused about how Sharon is carrying their baby. So all I can assume, if genetics actually matters in this situation, which you would think that in some way it would have to, is that the 6 that was on Caprica that shielded Gaius and protected him from dying, which is the one that he actually physically had sex with, right? I'm going to try to say this without being graphic at all. But assumedly, when they had sex one time, like, you know, maybe he was not safe. She told him she was on birth control. I don't know. She at some point got a hold during the sex, you know, of his genetic material, right? And since that Sharon, or that 6 was presumably still alive physically on Caprica, she stored the genetic material in Sharon in order to protect it, because the Cylons do seem to have a way of knowing like how things are going to happen. So perhaps that 6 knew that the battle with Starbuck would take place and she would perish, therefore rendering her unable to produce, birth, I don't know the word I'm looking for, create the baby, to like take this from A to Z, right? And then she knew that Sharon, by making Hilo fall in love with her, would do everything that she did and then ultimately end up on the Galactica where she wanted her to produce their child, right? Because it seems like the Cylons are always like 20 steps ahead. Like they know the choices that people are going to make. Like they somehow are like, okay, so we see that Sharon is predisposed to falling in love and caring about humanity. So we will use her, tell her that her objective is this. She'll actually fall in love with Hilo. She'll think that they created this baby, and then she'll do whatever it takes. And Hilo will do whatever it takes to protect their baby. However, it's really Gaius and 6's baby. So she's kind of like a surrogate, right? But she doesn't know that she's a surrogate, and she thinks that it's her and Hilo's baby. Right? Or no? It's kind of confusing because they did also have sex. But if she was already pregnant, then that wouldn't matter. I don't know. I'm a little confused. I assume it will be explained, but yeah, I'm a little confused. That's my theory for how it happened, but could be very wrong in that. But yeah. Speaking of Sharon, they got me in this episode because I was like, I trust her completely. And then that guy was like whispering in her ear, and I'm like, don't listen to him. Like, figure out, like, he has a motivation for doing this. Like, surely you would use your Cylon brains to figure that out. But then she started talking to Hilo, and then the whole situation with Adama happened, and I was like, one, she's lying because she does remember. She even remembered when she was dead because she said to Adama, and you ask why, which is what he asked when she was dead. So that's interesting, one. Two, I'm glad that she did see through that guy. I'm glad that that was her thing. Like, for a few seconds, I was like, I don't know what she's gonna do, and it stresses me out. Like, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna trust that she knows that this guy is double-crossing them. And then she pulled the gun on Adama, and I was like, no. But then she did what I was hopeful that she would do, and she saw through his bullshit. So that's good. Also, was pretty sure that guy was gonna die because I could see that Zarek was definitely cooling on the plan. You know, like, he kind of kept trying to like backtrack, and that guy was like, no, we have to do this now. And Zarek's like, you could tell that he was hesitating, right? That he wasn't fully in it anymore, and that he was unsure of this plan that they had created to kill Apollo. And then once Adama and them came, he was definitely like, you know what, we'll try something else, we'll figure it out. And the guy was like, no, it has to happen. So definitely saw that he was gonna die on Kobol. I get that, like, when in his death scene, they tried to make you feel kind of bad, right? Because they're like, he's like, I just wanted to see you accomplish the things that you wanted. And it's like, yeah, but he literally was telling you not to do it, and you still did it. So do you think that maybe your friend doesn't want to accomplish these things by murdering innocent people? You know, like, anyway, I'm glad that Sharon has proven herself. I'm glad that Apollo did not just immediately shoot her, because I was worried, because I thought, oh no, like, I think this is, like, in my mind, I was like, I think this is part of her plan, but Apollo is definitely just gonna shoot her and, like, fuck it up. But luckily, he showed a modicum of restraint, so that was good. I hope that this will lead both Apollo and Adama to seeing that this is a different Sharon than the other one. Like she said, I am not programmed. Like, I don't have like a subroutine. Like, I'm not going to be activated. Like, every choice I make is my choice, and I'm fully aware that I am making it. And the choice I'm making right now is to turn over the gun to you, right? So I think that that was the best thing that she could do in that situation. Like, I'm going to take out the people who are dangerous to you because they're literally plotting to kill you. And then I'm going to show you that I'm going to hand it over to you and tell you, like, I'm my own person. I'm making these choices of my own free will and volition to you. And I think that Adama was very receptive to that, because when he went in the tomb, he told Tyrell, protect everyone. And Sharon was standing right there. So she's included in protect everyone. So he wanted to protect her, which makes me happy. I also, I can understand why Sharon would be so upset by the knowledge that they killed Boomer and that there was no consequences to it. However, I also hope, and I think that she does, that Sharon can be a little bit introspective and understand that there's fault on both sides of this. Like, as long as the Cylons are constantly trying to kill humans, then of course humans are going to constantly see the Cylons as an immediate threat and try to kill them back. Like, there's definitely two sides, and there's definitely Cylons that don't fit the mold and don't just shoot first, ask questions later, but they're at war, and the Cylons have definitely played their part in this war. I mean, hello, Caprica. Hello, most of humanity dead. So I'm hoping that the Cylons can start to maybe, the Cylons like Sharon can start to see, if you're doing the same thing and getting the same result, then maybe it's because you're doing the same thing, you know? I don't know how to explain it, but introspection and understanding that there's guilt on both sides, right? Also, while we're on the subject of Sharon and Hilo and Tyrell and everyone involved in that love triangle, I'm curious if they're gonna go the love triangle route, right? Because obviously Sharon, or Boomer, was with Tyrell and she loved him, and the only reason that they ever broke up was because Tyrell didn't know if he could trust her, and so that ended their relationship. But she was in love with him. It wasn't that she chose to end the relationship. And now, of course, she's in love with Hilo. And yes, that was another Sharon. It was a different Boomer. But she has all of those memories. And she was saying, I feel like I'm home because I have all the memories of Boomer. And so even though I didn't personally experience those things, it feels as if I did. And I feel this connection with like you and Starbuck and everybody that makes me feel like this is where I belong. And like I said during the episode, like, if you think about it, like, what are we humans but our memories? Like, our memories and our experiences completely shape our personality and who we are and who we become in life, right? Like, the things that we experience and what we remember experiencing, like, is just fully who we are. And so, is she not Boomer? Like, physically, no. But everything that makes Boomer Boomer and Sharon Sharon is who she is. So, essentially, she is her? I don't know how you guys feel about it, but yeah, like, our memories, that's who we are. I think that that's what makes diseases where you lose your memories such a tragic thing, because at the end of the day, that's our experiences and that's our personality and that's us, right? I loved all of the reunions in this episode. Adama and Apollo, and Adama and Starbuck, and Adama and Rosalind. I just really enjoyed seeing everybody come back together and talk about it. Like, even like Tyrell and Sharon, although that was both reunion and first meeting all in one. But I think that I really enjoyed seeing Adama in this episode, and the way that he interacted with Lee, the way he interacted with Starbuck, and the way that he interacted with Rosalind, because I think that he definitely could have been a lot more petty with Rosalind in particular, and he chose to just be vulnerable and honest. He said, I love that he said, sorry, the bit about, she said, you know, God, thank the gods or whatever, about them living and escaping from Caprica and stuff. And he was like, no, thank you, because you're the one who convinced me that we should do that. And in doing so, you saved my life and you saved my son's life. And I don't think there's anything that Adama could have appreciated more from her, you know? So I really liked seeing him say that to her, and also him just being kind and forgiving. Like, he put her back in charge as president, which, like, is good, but also I wish that we had seen more from Rosalind, that she understands the danger of ruling with religion and not what the people want, you know, not democracy. So I don't know. I wish that there had been more acknowledgement on Rosalind's part of her mistakes in this. But I do appreciate that hopefully they're going to go forward with a more open and honest relationship, and that martial law is over. Hopefully we're gonna get a bit more democracy back in here, but we'll see. It's hard because from her viewpoint, she followed religion, right? And she didn't like being a religious follower. I don't think that she, like, in any way was like, oh, I'm a cult leader and I'm loving it, you know? Like, you could see that she didn't love that this was the card that she had to use, but she had to use that card. But it's hard because I want her to lean away from religion and such now. But to her, religion got them here, right? Like, the arrow of Apollo led to the tomb of Athena, and they found the map to Earth, which is what they wanted all along. So it would be hard for her not to be sort of vindicated in her decisions. But I just wish that everyone had chosen to do that and not like she chose to do that, you know? I don't know if that makes sense or not. Hopefully it did. Also, speaking of the tomb, when they got, like, trapped and then transported, I was like, oh my god, now they're stuck on Earth. Like, they found Earth but they're stuck on it. And like, how are they going to get back and then get everybody there? And then literally the next scene, it was just like they were on the Galactica. It was fine. I apparently made way too big a deal out of that. But did it not seem like, oh my gosh, now they're stuck. How are they going to get? Because like, how did they get there in the first place? You know, they just put the arrow and then they were on Earth. So how did they get back from there? I guess we just don't get to find out. But I really, in that moment, was foreseeing it being a much bigger deal than it was. I think the last thing that I want to say is, and I did talk about this a little bit in the beginning, but I don't understand how, according to 6, this is going to be like the end of the human race, when, if it actually is Gaius and her's kid, and Gaius is a human, then it will be a human Cylon hybrid, but still part human. So the human race isn't over. Again, unless she's just saying that it's the end of like people being solely human. But there's also like a lot of humans still around that like could reproduce, right? Like, I'm not like advocating for it, but I'm just saying like we know that Starbuck is capable of reproducing. So if her and Lee wanted to have a kid, they could, and that's a human baby. Billy and Dee could probably reproduce and create a human baby, you know, given that they're both actually humans and one's not a Cylon, you know. But like, I feel like with 47,000 some odd people in the fleet, like some of them are reproducing, right? Like some of them are definitely having babies. So not really sure how it would be the end of the human race in general either. Unless the human Cylon hybrids, for some reason, hate half of who they are and decide to kill all the humans too. Unclear. Just don't understand that part. Maybe at some point it'll become clear. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand yet. But yeah, just a bit confused by it because there are still humans having sex with the ability to reproduce right now. And even a half human, half Cylon is still half human. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go now. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you are watching this on YouTube. That will be linked in the description down below. You can also watch my entire full-length reaction while you're over there, watch-along style, to this episode and every single episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica. I hope to see you guys next time for more Battlestar. Until then, bye guys!